It's time to babble the fuck on. It's Hollywood Babble-On with your hosts.
It is Friday night at Yamava Casino, ladies and gentlemen. So let's babble the fuck on. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman. Hi, kids. What a joint.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. Before I came down, like for the last week or something, I've been telling my wife, like, I'm going to Yamava Casino. And she's like, what? You can't gamble. And I was like, no, it's not for that. I was like, we're doing Hollywood Babble-On there. They're giving away an Action Comics #1. We're going to help them do that and stuff. So she heard an ad for it on a podcast she listens to. She was like, oh my God, you're not lying. They are giving away a comic book. She's like, I heard a commercial. And I was like, yeah, why would I lie and stuff? And so I was like, did they mention me on the commercial? She goes, oh God, no. She's going, but it's really a thing that's happening. So before, earlier today, I saw her. I was like, I'm going to head down to Yamava with Ralph. We're going to do Babble-On. And she's like, what do you know about this place? I was like, it sounds like a small casino out in the desert.
I think there's a motel connected to it.
I said, honestly, me and Ralph are probably the most famous people that have ever been there and stuff. And she was like, oh, that's sweet. You're doing it like for them. And I was like, yeah, you got to help out the little guy. So I'm fucking driving out here. Every billboard is like Green Day.
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer. Fucking country and western chick, like who I know from things but don't know her name.
Right.
But famous. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh, they get really good people out here. And then you pull up and the place is huge and shit. So
it's the Vegas of California.
It really is. So I texted Jen and I said, when I got here and I got into the room and I wrote, turns out we're not the biggest act they've ever had at Yaamava. And she goes, how do you know? I said, I saw many billboards starring way more famous fuckers. And she goes, you saw a billboard in your office? And I said, I'm on my way to Yamava. And she goes, when? And I said, just now. And she goes, that's tonight? You're at Yamava now? She goes, oh my God, I thought you were in the bathroom all this time.
You guys live in the same house still,
yes. Right? And it's not even that big where you'd be like, she could never miss me and shit like that. But she thought I was shitting for the last 2.5 hours that I've been driving down here.
Well, you do eat a lot of fiber.
That is true.
You are a vegetarian.
How's everybody doing on a Friday night?
Thank you guys for coming out and joining us on sort of short notice. This came together kind of last minute.
It did.
And they offered it up and they said, would you guys like to do a show and talk about the giveaway? And we're like, hell yeah. And we kind of threw it together and here we are.
And I had no idea when we committed to the gig that we would have the comfiest chairs we've ever had on the show. This is unbelievable. It's like someone's living room.
I might not make it through the whole show. I might just nod off at some point.
Well, it is a 6 o'clock show for us youngsters.
That's right.
Make sure you get the early bird dinner plate special as soon as we're done, kids.
But this venue is great. This whole joint is amazing. It's like an oasis in the desert.
That gets very famous people. As soon as we pulled up, I told Rama, I was like, can you get me Green Day tickets? And he was like, yeah, I think so. Bring your wife. I was like, watch me bring my wife. We get laid for the first time in 2 years, man.
Maybe we can become like the house band or something, Just do a podcast here every day.
Could you? Yes. Or even if they were like, we need you to be the men's room attendants for Bert Kreischer, I'd be like, all right, that's funny adjacent. Like, we podcast, he podcasts.
You can crack wise in the men's room.
I'd be like, I said, look, can we put out a tip cup? They're like, yeah. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, we're in. Welcome to the Tukut Lounge, I believe is how you say it.
Yes.
Which, if I haven't been lied to, if they're not screwing with me, that in the Native American language means bobcat.
Bobcat?
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what? Very rarely does one get to pull out a bobcat.
I don't pull out my bobcat Goldthwait very often.
Took me right back, man. I was ready to watch Police Academy 3.
Speaking of movies, everybody see Superman besides us? Anybody go see Superman? Kevin and I have both seen it, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit later.
Yes, and if you haven't seen it, you're like, don't spoil it. You're fucked.
I told Kevin backstage, I said, you can't spoil it. He's like, fuck that. I'm spoiling the shit out of it.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it and shit. Can't be like, there's a guy. I'm not gonna say who, but he wears a red cape. Like, let's just.
These people are going to be very upset with you.
I mean, you could like earmuffs during that.
That's what you want from an audience, people covering their ears.
That's what we get normally, regardless.
Speaking of Superman and speaking of Yaamava, should we bring up our very special guest to talk a little bit?
Yes.
Where's Kenji? Kenji Hall, where are you, Kenji? The GM of this joint. Hey, Kenji, come on up. Have a seat in one of these comfy chairs and join us, won't you?
I feel like I should put him in the middle.
No, we're good.
Kenji, you brought something. I didn't bring you shit.
I know, it's...
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
We can't talk about superhero shit without capes, right?
That's true, absolutely. Whoa.
One for you, Kev.
We get Yaamava capes.
I'm totally wearing this to get laid tonight.
No. Absolutely.
One sec, kids. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Look at you, man, fumbling around like Betty Crocker and shit.
It's dainty.
I like to play with my food. There we go.
Let me get that over to leather.
That looks good.
Beautiful.
That looks good.
Thank
You look like the Fonz ready to jump the chicken stand. Leather jacket and cape. Why, thank you, Kenji. I brought you weed.
That's a pretty good trade.
Ganja for Kenji.
I will just say that I came up here and I was a little worried that you introduced me as a general manager, and when I leave after talking with you guys, I might not be. So
Oh, that's true.
my PR team has told me I need to mind my manners just a little bit. So
Fair enough.
We have ruined bigger careers than yours, Kenji. Don't worry about it.
Kenji, have you ever heard of Ben Affleck? I ruined his fucking career.
Let's talk about why we're here, besides Hollywood Babble-On. What is going on with this comic book thing we're talking about?
Yeah, where'd you get this?
So I'd have to kill you if I told you. That's super secret. So
enough.
a few years ago, we were looking for how do we do a lot of really big giveaways, and it's cars, it's millions of dollars. But we did a PSA 10 Michael Jordan rookie card, and we were wondering if it was going to draw people in, and the number of people that came from a collector's aspect for that promotion was ridiculous.
Hobbyist enthusiast.
And so at that point in time, a couple of years ago, we talked about Action Comics #1 and getting the Superman 1. And it's taken us 2 years to find one, to get it. And
There's only like 50 of them around.
I think the number that I saw last was 78 total. Smaller number graded. I think ours is graded at 6.0. And I want to say, so I think it's valued, when we talked about this a while back, it was valued at around $440,000. But that was before, I don't know if you guys saw this today or yesterday, there was an article that got put out.
Oh.
The cover, just the cover was sold for $408,000.
$408,000.
Just the cover.
If you win this, rip the cover
Rip the
off.
cover off, keep the rest.
The rest.
Sell the whole thing page by page. Who knows what
good
page one will go for? Who knows?
Truly.
So it ought to be a fun promotion and right in line with Superman coming out and doing all this good stuff. And, our guests love this. And so we like, this is the thing. You guys like that? Yeah, all right, good to hear.
Have you guys seen it in the Fortress of Solitude that they have here? It's super
Put it in a
impressive.
collector case.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Does the case come with it? If you win the comic book, do they get to keep the case? That cool set?
That case is impossible to take apart. I'm just going to tell you that. Like, it is, we had someone who wanted to see it. It took us 3 hours, I think, to take it back apart to put it back together.
Wow.
It's very secure, but let's not test it, anyone. Let's just...
Please don't steal the book. It'll give us a bad name. The production design on that piece alone, more involved and looks more expensive than anything in the last 3 movies I've made. Where does one get a Fortress of Solitude frame?
You must have had it custom built.
We did have it custom built. We have a couple of companies that we utilize for all of the horticulture. When you see the cool designs that we have all around the property and the floral prints and all these great places to take pictures from. They helped us with some of the design work on this, but it was also a few other people had to coordinate it to make sure that it was incredibly secure. When you put that out in full display, I've been pretty nervous. I've had a couple of sleepless nights thinking about, is this thing secure enough? Can I go in here and wiggle this and get out?
Couple more cocktails and you're in serious trouble. I'm telling you. I'm going to be investigating it.
Do you have to carry insurance on something like that? Is it insured?
Everything in here we have is insured. So as
These
part of the
capes are
property.
Insured.
Until they walk out, they're no
capes
longer
are
insured.
These capes are ensuring we don't get laid. That's for damn sure. So when does the giveaway happen? When does the cape drop?
So August 5th is the giveaway. We have several qualifiers. So there's every Tuesday until then, there's qualifying entries. We also, if you're on our social media account, we have what we call these cape drops. And today happens to be a cape drop day. And if you have your Club Serrano card, you get 777 points. You can push the button and work on and potentially get one of the finalist spots. And we have several other ways to get in, but between now and August 5th, including on the day, we're going to have a couple of really cool last chance drawings to get into the finals. And then we'll have a kind of a game show thing to get you into the finals there. And someone that day will walk out with that comic book.
Wow. And will you be waiting in the parking lot to hit them over the head and take it back?
We will make sure that they will have some security to get to their cars and get it to where it is.
Then they're on their own.
Yeah. Once it's in their house, that I can't control that. I won't be able to control you stacking your way to where the winner's house is there. Let's not do that. We can all be well behaved for the winner, right?
Did you open it? Did you hold it, handle it? Did you put on white gloves?
I was not allowed to do that.
Serious?
Seriously. We wanted to make sure that it was in this pristine a condition as we could. Like a lot of the big giveaways that we have, we try not to put hands on any of those things just to make sure that we don't take a chance with doing any damage to something of that value.
I feel like you missed out by not reading it, so let me just tell you the story. There's a little boy.
How does it go?
They throw him on a rocket in space. He lands here, and everything works out well for him.
Works out pretty good.
Yeah, it's the beginning.
87 years later, it's still working out pretty good. He looks good for 87 years old.
You're not kidding. They just keep reinventing and reinventing. The new guy is absolutely wonderful. The new guy who's playing him.
Have you seen the new
David
movie yet?
I have not. That is in my plan this weekend, hopefully,
you
is
gotta
to
go
get
see
to
it.
that.
It's smart that that movie comes out or is out right now, and you've got a few weeks because there will be people coming out of the woodwork to be like, Action Comics #1. Movie's good enough to recruit new Superman fans.
I agree.
There are a bunch of people like old fogies like us. We know the lore of Superman and know Action Comics #1. There's a bunch of new people stepping up to the table who are just Googling or Wikipediaing it or AIing right now and finding out his first appearance isn't Superman #1, it's Action Comics #1. So you could wind up with more people thanks to that movie than you probably would have had. It's smart to do at the time of year you did. Did you know the movie was coming out? Did you plan it?
We may have had an inkling that it was coming out. We might have just had a little clue on that. It's nice that movie studios give us some advance time with that. We've talked about trying to figure out how to debut it here. We've got an incredible theater, as you see the artists that are there, and so
only the big acts go there.
So
we didn't see that theater at all, Kenji. We smelled the food as we drove past.
Yeah.
Maybe your next movie debut will have in the theater.
Hey, we'll do a screening of your next Kevin Smith film here.
I like that idea.
How many? Well, it depends. How many seats in that theater?
We can do 2,800 roughly.
I don't have that many fans.
Okay, we can do about 1,500 if we need to.
Can you scale it down to 250?
250, we got that. We got you
Fair
there.
enough, man. There'll be a lot of empty seats, lots of room.
Kenji, we thank you so much for having us here. We've been really excited about doing the show here and now seeing your venue. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place.
Nice,
Really
nice
is a
little
fantastic
joint here.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys run a really nice shop, man.
Almost as big as Liam Neeson's, but not quite there. Not quite there.
We'll find out at the end
They'll
of the
figure
show.
it out.
Maybe.
We'll see.
HR has their finger on a
I
button
know.
right now.
There's a little bit of panic in the back of the room right now. Hey, thanks, guys. We really appreciate
Give it up for Kenji Hall, everybody.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. I love this place. I might never leave.
Can you push my chair in? A little bit more. Thank you, Kenji.
Booster, you good?
Can I get a booster as well? I pushed my chair back all confidently, put on my cape, and then once I sat back down, I tried to move it, and I had no fucking upper body strength. I needed Kenji for that.
The cape didn't work.
No, no, for looks only. Kids, you could win that Action Comics #1. And I hope you do. And if you do, for the love of God, kickbacks.
Yeah, really. We'll wet our beaks a little bit. Let's talk real quickly about the movie. I know we got a show to do, but Kevin and I both saw it, and I have to say, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
It is, as I was coming in, somebody was like, I was talking to one of the people who worked here and said, "What, did you see Superman?" I said, "Yeah." He said, what do you give it? 1 out of 10. I said, "Really solid 8. Do you feel?"
Oh, yeah, I think that's right on.
I've definitely seen people who are like, "It's the greatest movie ever made" and stuff. I loved it so much, I'll be honest with you. I saw it at a 2:00 show yesterday. I went to see it with my wife, who's like the coldest fucking human being on the planet. And still, was like warmed by the movie. I thought, I've been going to the movies with her long enough to know that like, she's not responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for my happiness. So if I sit there and watch her watching a movie that I've taken her to that I'm clearly enjoying and she's like, then I'm like, I used to take offense to it, but I'm like, she's on her own fucking trip. So I tend not to look to the left because I want to enjoy myself.
Right.
So I had no idea how she was engaging with the movie. And then at one point when he did a speech, I heard her sniff. And I looked over and fucking the Ice Queen was melting and shit. So this guy worked on her as well. She went for it. It's an incredibly sweet movie and has a lot of heart. And the heart more than makes up for, any moment for me that was like, oh, as a comic book fan, I bump into that or something like that. You got to understand, as a comic book fan, I've been reading multiple iterations of these characters for years. They're never defined by one artist. Many different people handle the character. You get many different tastes. When I was a kid, I remember wishing for a serious superhero movie. Like, why can't someone treat this seriously, man? Like, do The Watchmen and do it seriously. And then Zack Snyder did that. And I remember going like, why can't somebody do Dark Knight Returns? And then he kind of did a big portion of that. So I've been a fan who's gotten to see like of course, Richard Donner version of Superman that was established by the late great Christopher Reeve. I've seen all the cinematic incarnations and enjoyed them all for one reason or another. Even like the Snyder stuff I liked because it was like, that's the serious take that I always dreamed about as a kid. Like, why won't someone do it seriously? Somebody did it serious as a fucking heart attack, and I'm pretty sure it gave me one. So
yeah.
I enjoyed those flicks, but this is more my taste in terms of comic books. Comic book movies, for me, the more real they try to make them, I've realized, the less engaged I am with them. Case in point, that last Batman movie was them going like, this is what Batman would be like in the real world. This is real as it gets. And as close to reality as it gets, these ideas start falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I remember watching The Batman a day after finishing Reacher on Amazon. And I was like, just break his fucking neck, like the idea of putting on a cape and blocking most of your peripheral vision to fight people just like falls apart. The more realistic you try to make it, the more frivolous it is, the more, hey man, this is like a comic book. Then the ideas can be supported better. Because
the more fantastic the setting, the more it's aligned with the characters.
For me, I'm not saying that's the way for everybody, but
I
for
agree.
me, the source material is comic books. And while I have, enjoyed serious takes on the characters as well, this is a story about a boy who solves all his problems by leaping into the air and punching things. Like, this is unrealistic. It's the stuff of pure fucking fantasy.
Right.
So let it be that. And that's what he makes it. This movie is pure fucking fantasy. This is one of the most comic book movies I've ever seen. Not just in like, hey, there's a flying dog with a little cape and shit like that. But also just in, we're going to drop you into the middle of the story. Because let's be honest, y'all know the story already. Y'all know how this happens. So we're not going to show you the kid being thrown off the planet as it explodes and shit. We can never show you the end. That's the third act. Comic books are always the first and second act. If you get a third act, the book is fucking done. So rather than go like, oh, we're going to do the origin one more time, he's like, I'm going to treat the audience as smart as I know they are. I'm the guy who made Guardians of the Galaxy. I've made comic book movies. I made Suicide Squads. So I know what they're capable of. And what they're capable of is not being told that this boy came from another planet and shit like that. I'm going to start the movie in the middle of a fucking fight.
Yeah.
Now, inelegantly, they begin that movie with like a bunch of words on the screen. We're like 300 years ago, the first superhero came to Earth or whatever. And then 30 years ago, a Kryptonian child comes to Earth, raised by Kansas farmers. 3 years ago, he debuts as Superman, reveals himself to the world as Superman. What was it? 3 weeks ago, he stopped a war in, they call it Jarampur, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And then it says 3 days ago, like the government of that country made it known, like, fuck you. And then 3 hours ago,
He lost his first fight.
he lost his first fight. Yeah. And they put all these words up on the screen, not in like a Star Wars crawl. They just write it over a big shot of the wide open Antarctic landscape. And I didn't know if it was like, oh, they cut some shit. And so they were like, let's just put that up there. Didn't feel like it was even necessary. But since this is the first movie of their new DCU, I guess they felt the need to be like, look, just to let you know, superheroes have been around for a while and Superman's been active for 3 years, and go. And then he hits the fucking snow, just like in the trailer, and the movie begins. That is trusting your audience to not spoon feed them everything that brings you up to that point, and trusting that they're going to be okay finding out pieces of information after the fact. You know, they'll be able to put it all together in their head, but as long as you're charming them, as long as you're keeping them amused, you could do that. And that's what comic books are fantastic at. Movies, for years, traditionally, they've always, when they do a comic book movie, like, well, we got to show them how we got here.
You got to tell the whole story.
But we've been doing this shit for so long, everybody's like, we know, man, the fucking boy hits an iceberg. Like, let's move on with the fucking story and shit. So now they can do that. And this movie does that. It really trusts the audience. It trusts that the audience will go on a journey that, you know, it's tough to say. Like, Marvel does frivolous things as well, and they take themselves very seriously, and they also do frivolous things. And, you know, even in Guardians of the Galaxy, same filmmaker. In this Superman iteration, there's a lot of things that, like, I clenched my asshole, not for me, but I was like, I hope this works, James, you know, when he was bringing in this one or that one or that one. Because the book, in terms of Superman stories, would you agree, leans more toward the Silver Age.
Yes, very much so.
You know, even the inclusion of Crypto, a dog with a little cape, is more of a charming, more innocent time.
Even the science that they present and the sort of creatures that populate that world have a very Silver Age feel.
At one point, he's fighting a kaiju, and we've all seen the commercials, but guess what? The kaiju loses. And so at a certain point, he's like, we could have saved it and put it into an intergalactic zoo. And that is straight out of, like, you know, 60s, early 70s Superman. So it captures the essence of that. And the movie makes you feel like, if you're going in there intellectually, like, why would you? But if you were going in there intellectually, say on this position, let's say you were deeply invested in the superhero movie. Warner Brothers has had a hard time of it of late. And as we all know, this is meant to open up a brand new universe and whatnot. So let's say you went into this movie going, this movie has to be fucking excellent because it's the beginning of a new universe and all this shit. And this is important. And
Better hit it out of the park.
I don't know how you're going to feel because your bar is very high. I went in going like, this is a guy who made Guardians of the Galaxy. I know I'm going to have a good time.
I went in going,
I had a great
be
time.
better than Man of Steel, be better than Man of Steel, be better than Man of Steel. And so I went out very happy because it felt
With a
like
big-ass smile.
I did, yes. It was very hopeful and bright and cheerful and optimistic. And I think in a very clever way, he made what everyone said was impossible not too long ago. Superman is too square and too positive, and he doesn't have a place in the modern world.
That's the complaint and conceit about him. Years ago in the 90s, this happened. Although, you know, fucking some news stations would have you believe it happened recently. But in the 90s, they got rid of his famous slogan, catchphrase. Superman used to say, truth, justice, and the American way.
Right.
And after the Vietnam War and after everything that happened in the next 30 years, DC was like, maybe we go less, and it wasn't like we're ashamed of America, but they're like, this character belongs to the world. If we make him just about America, how the fuck are we going to sell tickets to British kids? So they got rid of the American way, and it just became truth, justice, and having a good time. I forget whatever they replaced it with.
Party and Hardy.
And getting drunk. But it's a character that's tough to play with because and as Zack Snyder treated him, he can be seen as a god with limitless powers unless you got one magical green fucking rock from space. So what they did with this iteration was, make him not beatable, like, because he gets beat up, but he gets right the fuck back up and goes at it. He's guileless.
When met with equal force, he's capable of being slapped around pretty good.
He can take it and then, fucking, all right, back at it and shit. And I like that.
Me too.
Fucking, it's, I know he's an alien. I know he's got incredible powers because of Krypton, but it's the human aspect of Superman that keeps you interested. The special ability, the superpower, the suit, that's not what keeps an audience coming. That's what gets you there in the first place.
Right.
But what keeps you in your seat is tell me the human story behind this superhuman, because that's what we can relate to. And David Cornsweet, perhaps the most relatable Superman since Chris Reeve. And I couldn't even relate to Chris Reeve. That's a brilliant performance. So I don't even know that I related to it. I always just looked at it. I was a kid when I saw it. But even as an adult, I don't think I could say I relate to it. And that's not a criticism. It's just he plays a very particular version. The way David Cornsweet played Superman was the first time I ever watched a Superman movie where I was like, oh, I feel seen. Like I for the first time, I identify with Superman. Most of my life, I've always grimly tried to identify with Batman because he's cool and shit. And Superman was just a big blue Boy Scout. But the way he expressed himself, and I know James wrote the words, but the way David sold James' words, like that final speech he gives to Luthor, which they've done in some trailers where he's just like, he's like, you're an alien. He's like, that's where you're wrong about me. And he talks about his humanity. Like even now I'm getting like choked up talking about it. There were some moments that like we've seen in the trailer where he goes, people were going to die. Where he's just like, I've got a line, and not a line where I'm pissed. It's just like, I can't fucking live. The original Bleeding Heart. Like he's playing him like a true Boy Scout. And
allowing him to get emotional.
Yes.
And run the gamut of emotions, I think, was the strongest choice in this film. He doesn't come off as better than us or different than us in any way. He is very, very much one of us.
Empathy is his superpower. He saves a fucking squirrel at one point, for Christ's sake.
Yes, he does.
But honestly, one of the most beautiful moments of the movie, and I know this because not only did I watch it at 2 o'clock with my wife, we went back home, we were talking about it, and I was like, do you want to go again? She's like, no, we just went. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going. And I went back and watched it again by myself and shit like that. And the moment where he's talking to Lois about, we've seen it in the trailer as well. He turns himself in, gets arrested.
Yeah.
And he tells her, he's like, I'm going to turn myself into Flag. And she's like, why? And he's like, because maybe I can track down the dog. There's a good section of the movie where the plot hinges on Superman just wants to find fucking Crypto,
find his dog.
which is one of the most relatable aspects of a Superman movie I've ever seen in my life. I've lost my dog from time to time too. So you're like, oh my God. And the concern on his face. So she says, he goes, I'm going to go and maybe I'll find Crypto. And she goes, he's just a dog. And he goes, I know, but he's alone and he's probably scared. I'm fucking about to cry just talking about it. It was so unbelievably beautiful and thrown away. But like that humanity, man, he is selling it. I don't know who that kid is, but instantly jumped into my top 50 after watching that movie twice back to back. He carried so much soul in that character, man. And those are big boots to fill.
Yeah.
That character's been played by some amazing actors across the cinematic version of it.
Cornsweet's the best, though, because he's from Philadelphia.
Is he from Philly?
Yeah.
No wonder I like them so much.
See?
Who else can we talk about?
First of all, best Lex Luthor I've ever seen.
I was going to say, Nick Holt was was wonderful. It's so crazy.
Terrifying and
And the whole time you're going like, that's the about a boy. Like, he grew up shitty. You know, but there are moments where he looks like a Howard Porter rendition of Lex Luthor from
there have been
Grant
some great
Morrison's
Lexes
run.
before, but this was my favorite interpretation of Lex ever.
Because it's weird because we need to retire the jersey of Gene Hackman.
Yeah, right.
That's just an iconic, legendary performance. But even as a comic
They
book
serve
fan,
such a different purpose in that film.
yes.
You know?
And as a comic book fan, you were like, well, where's the purple suit? That's not the mad scientist. You know, this is a guy obsessed with real estate, which has infected every incarnation of that character since. Like Lex Luthor will have an A plan, and the B plan is always, but real estate as well.
Yeah.
So there have been a few, but and again, I give it up to Nick Holt as the actor, but also James Gunn constructed a Lex Luthor that is not even like, oh, you love to hate him. You just fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing enjoyable about him other than the fact that Nick Holt is like obviously having the time of his life. But he is a truly deplorable villain. And there's at one point a game of like, there's a death in the movie that is shocking, comes out of fucking nowhere and shit, and it's at his hand that stops the movie, not cold where you're like, I'm leaving, but you're like, oh yeah.
Slaps you across the face.
Reminds you who the fuck this prick is and
Yeah.
stuff. He's great. The Lois Lane.
The Kents, the adoptive Kents.
Oh my God.
Beautifully done.
He's James
Pa
Gunn,
Kent is
the
just-
first one brave enough to be like, look, this is Kansas. Let's make his parents total fucking hayseeds, man. Like they have the thickest fucking accent and shit. They live in like a double wide. Like they just look and smell like America.
Yeah.
And not the America of Siegel and Schuster from years ago, Ma and Pa Kent, the farmhouse and stuff like that. Like, I drive around this country a lot. They look like real people.
Yeah, they shop at Walmart.
Yes.
Yes. Not that there's anything wrong with
Not
that.
at all, but for sure.
But there's definitely a Walmart near the Kents.
And the Kents, like in the movies, you know, are always like kind of not well-heeled rich, but like, you know, fucking, they just never look like poor people.
Right.
Or old people. So this time around, you get the impression like he's coming from meager means,
Yes.
man. Like fucking, which is a big part of that character.
But salt of the earth.
Salt of the earth. But they also play his parents as old. So like early on in the movie, right away, like he gets to work at the Daily Planet and he gets a call from his mom. And they cut to a two-shot of his parents, and his mom has a phone open on the table, which is low, maybe knee-high, and she's talking to him straight down like this. But Clark, we saw the paper.
On speaker.
It looks like my mother. Like I thought James Gunn stole it from my fucking house and shit. So moments like that go a long way toward, you know, selling a world that we haven't been in before. It makes you comfortable so fast and treats you in such a familiar fashion, so effortlessly that like even my wife, like she wasn't like, what the fuck's going on? Although she did say after the movie, she's like, that, you know what? She goes, that boy finally understands how to play Superman. And I was like, what boy? And she goes, what's his name, Henry? And I said, you thought that was Henry Cavill? I was like, that's David Cornsweat. And she goes, all you white boys look the same to me.
Speaking of boys that aren't white,
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific.
Fantastic addition.
I always get worried when I watch one of these movies and they're like, well, there's going to be 18 heroes in it and 27 villains. It always worries me when they try to overstuff it. And I was worried about this because they got a Green Lantern in there and Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl and Metamorpho. And it's like, do we need all this stuff? And it all played for me. Mr. Terrific, I want to see the Mr. Terrific movie now.
Like, wasn't he just eminently watchable and fun?
Yeah.
Like him going, hot damn, there's a dog with a cape and he's flying. Like, yeah, it was, you know, he had a mission. And the mission wasn't fair, right? Like James Gunn. Most people just get to make a movie. They were like, save the studio.
Right.
And I know like they were projecting it from like 100 to 130 opening, but based on the positive feedback they've been getting, they've been lifting that. So it could open.
I think it made $25 million just on Thursday.
Which was big
Yeah.
for Thursday.
It's the biggest preview or evening of an opening of the year so far.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be a monster.
It'll make a couple bucks.
It is. And it's not to say there won't be some things people bump into. Personally, I bumped into a thing that they did with his Kryptonian parents, which historically has not been a part of Superman's mythology.
Yes.
I didn't.
You're doing so well about not spoiling, by the
trying,
way. I'm very
I'm trying.
impressed.
I'm really trying.
Very impressed by your.
Thank
you're
you.
sweating, but you're working.
It's a tightrope and shit. But they do something which, as a fan of the books, I bumped into it, but I was like, well, let's see where he goes with it. Maybe he's going to make it work. Let's see if he boats this Marlin.
Right.
And by the end of the movie, I didn't think there was enough that came out of that it was necessarily worth doing.
Right.
Like, it's like, yeah, but you could have achieved the same goals with what was going on in Jaranpur or
I
stuff
agree.
like that.
There were some romantic relationships in the film I thought that were superfluous and didn't really pay off either.
Yeah, and some people bump into the humor. I didn't bump into the humor at all. I like James Gunn's sense of humor and his all the Jennifer, when we left, she was like, "There's a lot of dad jokes in that movie," and I was like, "Yeah," and each one fucking lands. Like when him with his robots and shit.
Yeah,
and he's like, maybe one day you'll give me a name, and he goes, "Four's a name." And he goes, "So's Gary."
Henceforth, he's known as Gary.
Yeah, really funny, just throwaway line. Where that's fucking.
I think that's Alan Tudyk, right?
Yeah,
the voice of Four.
who voices literally everything.
Yeah. Stay in your fucking lane, Alan. You're a live action actor. Leave the voice acting to lesser mortals.
Yeah, Tudyk, give us one of them dicks, would you?
That's right.
It has two post credit sequences that are not about you gotta come back.
Next up is
literally just two scenes that really have more to do with what you just saw than anything else. So you can see he's trying to do things a little bit different there. It's not to say they didn't set up the next few movies by the end of that movie. They just did it within the storytelling. There is a reveal of a big bad in the third act that I was like, oh, all right. And you could tell where they're going with it in the future. Mm-hmm. And since he wasn't the biggest big bad, it doesn't derail the movie by any stretch of the imagination. No. But you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yes.
Did you also be like honestly, I thought when they ripped off the mask, it was going to be somebody else.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. No, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Really?
I was a little cheesed off they didn't get to it sooner, quite frankly. I was like, yeah, I saw that one coming down the pike.
I saw somebody else.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be somebody else.
This must be really entertaining for these folks.
I know, everyone's like, stop talking.
Did you with the thing with the guy and the thing with the face and then the guy who had the hair?
Sometimes I forget we have an audience.
Yes.
Solid 8 out of 10.
I'm with you, 8 out of 10. It gets a Babble rating of 8 out of 10.
Perfect summer movie.
Absolutely.
This is what summer movies are meant to be. I went back because of how it made me feel. It very rarely go into a mainstream movie, and I'm a fucking known crier. I get emotional about shit. But that movie made me feel good about being a person, hopeful, all those wonderful things that you don't necessarily get with summer movie fare, while still being an entertaining summer movie.
I'll tell you, as a father and a son, the conversation between Clark and his father destroyed me in this.
Did it? That's what did it for you?
Yes.
It was. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my wife told me at the end, there's a shot from his childhood where you see a young version of him with Pruitt Taylor Vince, who is absolutely fucking wonderful.
Brilliant.
As Pa Kent. And this spoils nothing, but it's like Super 8 footage, or I guess it would be, I'm getting emotional again. It wouldn't be Super 8, it would be home video from when he landed.
A beta cam or something.
So he's got him up the way if
kids
you've
have
ever
been
had
held
a kid.
up time immemorial.
And I'm going to cry. And he's flying, and then they cut to David, and he's smiling, and they go out like that. It is really fucking moving. And Jennifer, my wife, was like, at the end, she was like, that's what really did it for me. The shot of that boy flying. She's like, can you think of two kids, one from Toronto, one from Cleveland, who sat down and came up with a story that for decades people have been telling over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the formula is so powerful that in the right hands, it will make like an adult like me even get emotional. So Jennifer's watching it and she's like, every parent who's ever had a kid has helped their kid to fly. Could you imagine and when most kids do that, they are thinking of a superhero. And most of the time, for years, it's been Superman.
Yeah.
Could you imagine creating something that had that much of an impact in the culture? Not where people are like, oh, I like that character. But people will be doing a thing for years with their children and like pretending to make them fly because of some fucking comic book two kids wrote over 80 years ago. And you can own that comic book, ladies and
Nice
gentlemen.
segue.
Right here.
Segue.
Thanks to the good folks at Yaamava Casino.
Boom. Drop that mic. That
Bang.
was sweet. You literally have a mic in your hand and you went boom.
I
and you
did.
dropped the
I
other.
didn't want to ruin everybody's night and shit with the ears. It's worth seeing, kids.
So there you go. Here's our spoiler-free review, by the way.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Didn't give it away.
We should do another one. Like in a closet
All
somewhere.
spoilers.
All spoilers all the time.
In a closet.
Yeah. Like where people aren't there and they won't be upset with us. We'll do it just you and me.
So
Naked. Let's do it naked.
We should just have a conversation, you mean?
And record it, though.
Oh, record it as well.
Yeah, we'll give people the spoiler-free option or the spoil-full option.
All right. I'm down. I can do that.
Let's go up to your room after the show.
Yeah. Who wants to be involved in that, ladies and gentlemen? Babble-On key party. We can put one of them pineapples on the door upside down and shit. Send them. Is it upside down? That means like, it's the number? The room number. Oh, what's the room number?
The room number. He wants to join us.
Hey, man, work
Kevin-
my nipples first. Don't go right for my cock.
Kevin wants swinger tips. How do you put the pineapple?
Yeah, which way does that pineapple go? I saw it when we did the cruise askew.
Yeah, there were a bunch of swingers on the cruise ship, and they all had their pineapples.
Isn't that weird? Don't you feel like, wow, they're having a better time than I am, man? Like, they figured shit out.
Yeah.
And you can figure it out too, right here at Yaamava Casino, kids, where you can win an Action Comics #1.
Hey there, boys and girls. It's your old podcast pal, Ralph here. Why don't you check out The Ralph Report? That's my daily show. Monday through Friday, you can get an earful of me, and we have a pretty good time. Plus, if you're a Hollywood Babble-On fan and you subscribe at the 3 or 4-star general levels, you can get the entire back catalog of Hollywood Babble-On, the past decade of Babble-Ons for you to listen to at your leisure. Plus, the 4-star tier, they get to watch us record the show live once a week. Plus, there's live stream events, all kinds of goodies. Why don't you go check it out? Go over there at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/The Ralph Report. That's patreon.com/The Ralph Report. Or check us out at theralphreport.com.
Let's start the show as we usually do by talking.
Oh my God, we haven't even started yet.
It's gonna be a
That was all pre-show.
long night. By talking to some folks in the audience who've come particularly long distances or celebrating special occasions with us. Actually, we've come particularly long distances. I can't believe I'm still in California after all the driving I did today.
Yes. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Gotta be in Oregon at some point at this thing.
You would think it was long, and yet my wife didn't even notice I was fucking gone.
God, you were in the toilet. This is a segment we call the shout-outs.
It's a shout out with Kevin and Ralph, so get your cock out. Yeah. Get your cock out.
That's
is
the
our
kind of action
first-
you'll see at my room. Pineapple upside down, my friend.
This is our first show with these nice people. Don't be slobbering all over the
I
microphone.
didn't slobber. I didn't even touch it. It was all nothing but net.
Salman and Sai, are you guys here? Hi, kids.
What
How
up,
are you?
kids?
Ralph and Kev, my name is Salman, and I'm proud to be a listener of the show since 2012. Proud 3-star Garmy General, too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your service to Ralph.
Attending the show with my partner, Sai. We're high school sweethearts. We've known each other for 11 years, together as a couple for 9 of them. Oh, that's so sweet.
So you guys met in high school, and then 2 years into high school started dating, and then have been dating ever since.
Wow.
That's fucking adorable.
What was wrong with the first 2 years? How'd you fuck that up, Salmon?
Was that you? You were holding out?
Yeah.
Dumbass. Look at you, made the right decision. Look at that, man. So 11 years? It's fucking adorable, man. How do you put the pineapple on your door?
Oh, stop. After months of submitting applications and doing interviews, Sai was recently accepted into her top choice medical school and will be starting classes next week. Congratulations,
Well
Sai.
done.
What was your top choice? It wasn't DeVry, was it? Oh, okay. A school in California. What are you, a spy? She can't say.
I wouldn't either. Not with this crowd.
Yeah.
What is your, what are you going to concentrate on? What are you going to fix? Not hospice. Oh my God. I hope we never meet. I didn't know what that shit was, but my mom was in the hospital last year. My brother and sister sat me down. They're like, Mom, they're talking about putting Mom in hospice. I was like, she's in a hospice right now. They're like,
Not
"This is the
hospital."
And they're like, hospice. I was like, what's that? And they're like, that's when there's no hope left. And I was like, oh my God. But then she bounced back, so it all worked.
My father, at the end of his life, was in hospice care, and those workers are goddamn angels. What they
Absolutely.
do. I've seen it from both sides. I had 2 kids in the NICU when they're both seriously ill, lost one, and then my father at the end of his life. And the people who do prenatal care versus end-of-life care, same mindset. They're just givers. They just are dedicated to humanity. It's ridiculous.
They make you feel like a real piece of shit.
They do
at
indeed.
all times. Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks.
She's excited but understandably nervous, so we're going to celebrate and distract her by taking her to see a show of 2 middle-aged men doing anal jokes and German impressions. Well, that's to cheer her up. Despite being together for years, this is our first live HBO show. She's not super familiar with either of your work. That's why she's so smart. That's why she's going to medical school.
Stay in school, Si.
But she has seen Chasing Amy.
Oh, shit.
And she recently said she liked Kevin in Grown Ups. Yeah, that's Kevin James. I'm sorry.
But I do get that a lot, to be fair.
Very close. Fun fact about Sai, she has an inexplicable massive crush on Bob Dylan. Ralph, could you please have Kevin do a little bit of his sexy Kev routine, but in his newly famed Bob Dylan impression? It would make her night and perhaps score some points for me when we head back to her place after the show. Wink, wink.
I could give it a shot.
So you're sexy Kevin, but you're doing it in your newly improved, discovered Bob Dylan impression.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
We're going to give you some Kevin music. Do we have some Kevin music?
I'm rearranging things in my head.
Hey, say.
You sound like Bullwinkle.
Let's bring the volume down.
All right,
a
a little softer with the sexy music. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I gotta find my Dylan.
hey, say. How happy G-Jack did you see Salmon's butthole? His butthole. I ain't talking about no rent, I'm talking about the butthole.
That's my
All right. Whenever you're done. I didn't want to interrupt the genius.
I have to pull that deep, man.
Yeah, that was sweet. I like that. That was good.
You know how I do it? I have to go to the song "Has Anybody Seen My Heart" from Empire Burlesque and sing it in my head.
Well, it looks large in the distance. Up close ain't really that big.
And that's how I get to the impression.
An artist prepares. I
yeah.
guess. I don't know how to go.
Welcome, Si.
We also get emails from all around the world. Gabby?
Ain't no drag. Garman's got an email bag.
Featuring Kevin's reactions.
That's right. All our usual segments in Hollywood Babble-On show tonight, by the way, are all Superman-centric. We're doing a total show dedicated to Superman.
On theme.
On theme for the release of the movie today and also for the comic book that you could win here at Yamaha. So, with that in mind...
Oh, that dog is adorable in the movie.
Oh, my God.
Not real at all. They never use a real dog. He's
No.
all CG.
You could tell.
You can tell every shot. There's never once where you're like, that looks like a real dog.
Right.
But he is wearing a cape and he flies. So at that point, it's like,
I never was going to think that was a real dog, really. Yeah.
truly.
Keith O'Neill from Millis, Massachusetts writes, Ralph, did you know that Kevin was on the Kryptonian High Council? Thanks for all the free funny. I did not know that, Keith. I'm so glad he sent in a photo. Can we take a look at that photo of the Kryptonian High Council?
Yeah, I remember when we put those fuckers away.
Not for long.
No, they got out later on and shit.
Travis Monson writes, is it true that Sylvester Stallone was up for the role of Superman? It actually is. At the time, Richard Donner took a meeting with Sylvester Stallone. They had dinner to talk about the possibility of Rocky playing Superman.
So Rocky would have already happened at that point.
It had indeed. Yeah, and the studio was very high on the idea. They wanted it.
What the fuck would that sound like?
Well, let's see what we missed out on. Can we see what it might have looked like if he had been there? Yeah. I'm unsure this is true, says Travis, but he asked the same question you asked,
I gotta
coincidentally.
know. I gotta
What would
know.
that sound like?
Yeah, look, Lois, right? Like, you know, pink. You wearing pink underwear, right? That's it. So, you know, I eat, you know, and I don't know. Lex Luthor, you're sick. Diseased mind. You're greedy and lazy.
Lois Lane,
Yeah.
played by Bob Dylan. Can you read my mind? We go flying, Superman with the butthole.
It's always with the butthole. Travis Ross says, this may be a bit controversial, but I'd like to request a version of the song They're Coming to Take Me Away that you always sing on the show. Could you do it as RFK Jr.?
Oh, shit. There goes your voice for the weekend. But I'm going to capture this for insurance purposes.
Some people are going to be upset about this. I don't really give a fuck at this point, however. RFK Jr. singing They're Coming to Take Me Away. Okay, can we get a little music to give me? Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, they left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you have gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, they're coming to take me away. Oh, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be having to see those nice young men and they're clean like goods, and they're coming to take me away, Oh my God. That ain't easy.
You're going to pay for that. That voice is never coming back. And politically, you're going to pay for that
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I've already done that.
This administration loves it when you make fun of them.
Just don't get vaccinated.
Have you been working? Do you do that on the Ralph Report? Because that's pretty good.
I have done it on the
You've been working on it. That's pretty good. That took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a ninth.
That's what keeps our relationship fresh, Kevin.
It really is,
Yeah.
man.
We get emails from folks who send us stuff that's supposed to be meant for kids, but we find out when we look at them, they're inappropriate toys.
Not appropriate for girls, not appropriate for boys. What the fuck is that? Inappropriate toys.
As I mentioned, all these toys are either inappropriate or shitty Superman toys. Starting off with this one from 1984, Kenner created this. It was called the Justice Jogger. Can we take a look at that? Yeah. Also known as Superman is lazy as fuck. It's a chair that walks. He's Superman.
Yeah, he doesn't need mechanics at all.
Let's look at the toy. It's just, come on. Who's buying that for their Superman action figure?
I think it's a chair that you get blown in.
Of course you do.
Kryptonian fleshlight right there.
Along the same lines, the next toy is the Superman Wonder Woman motorcycle battery operated with flashlight. Why does Superman need a motorcycle? That's what I want to know. And why is Wonder Woman in the sidecar? Sexist. And why is she a redhead? I have so many questions about this toy.
Superman's like, you like her?
Oh, that's a quality toy. I take it all back. That's a nice looking toy.
Oh my God, he's hanging out with Amy Schumer.
And lastly, this is a return. This is a reprise. We talked about this before, but it's my favorite Superman thing we've ever done on the show. This is a water fountain in a small skating rink in Tucson, Arizona, and they thought this would encourage the kids. They would love to drink out of this water fountain, the Superman water fountain. Because Superman's holding the water fountain.
Oh, yes.
But unfortunately, it looks like all the skaters are sucking Superman off while they're getting a drink.
You will believe a man can come.
Yes, you will. Now it's time to take a look at some folks who left us this week, but left behind bodies of work that will live on for a long, long time. They are our Tinseltown Stiffs.
And now another edition of Tinseltown Stiffs. They will be missed.
Actor Julian McMahon has passed away at the age of 56. Let's put his picture up there.
Tuck.
Yeah.
And Dr. Doom.
He was Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four movies. I loved Nip Tuck. I thought that was a great series.
Did you? I watched a few episodes, but it's smarter than TV I mostly enjoy. It seemed like it required a little more thought than I was willing to put in.
You weren't interested in thinking at the time?
Not at all. But I liked him as Dr. Doom. I thought he had a nice... I liked his delivery. I liked the choices he made.
Passed away at the age of 56 from cancer, sadly. Born in Sydney, Australia, his father was the Prime Minister of Australia. Did you know that?
No.
From 1971 to 1972. So not a good Prime Minister, obviously, but still a Prime Minister for nonetheless. Even for a
he
year.
will be missed. I've seen him in other things too, man. But
Yeah, he's worked a ton.
Yeah.
And
did anybody know he had cancer?
No, it was a private battle.
Kept it quiet.
Yeah. And now at 56, he's gone. That's way too young.
Yeah, big bucket of wind. Let me tell you something. If I get a disease, I'm telling fucking everybody.
Oh, you're very...
I'm going to tell everybody until I don't have it. They have it instead. I share the burden.
You're going to shed your
I'm not this
disease?
hero who's just like, I'm going to do it quietly. Oh my God, I'm going to bitch about it the whole fucking time.
Well, you know, the sad...
It's unfair. First clerks, now this.
The sad reason a lot of people in the entertainment business don't disclose it is because they can't work. A lot of people won't hire them if they're sick. And so in order to...
Oh, they need that insurance.
In order to keep staying employed, they have to hide their disease because people get uncomfortable about hiring people who have diseases.
I would make it a feature, not a bug. I'd go out there, Kevin Smith, I'm sick, pay my bills tour, man. Like, I'd be telling everybody like crazy, like, look, I'm talking about it, so my insurance went away, so I need your money.
But if something happened to you, like, say, a heart attack, would you talk about that? Would you be open about it? Would you share that with people? Would you cash in on that in any way, I
feel like that's a bridge too far.
That's how I feel, too. I thought you'd keep that to yourself, yeah. And Michael Madsen, we lost Michael Madsen this week.
Yes.
At the age of 67, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Give it up for him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
One of the great tough guys in movies. Very few guys who are sort of man's men, tough guys.
Are you going to bark all day, little doggy?
Yeah.
I saw Reservoir Dogs in a movie theater in Manhattan at Cinema Village, like when it had just been out for a week. Read like this killer review. I was like, let's go see this fucking movie. And he was an absolute discovery. I know he had been in Thelma and Louise prior to that.
He had?
But
his first job was in War Games, believe it or not. That was his first.
I know that. He's the guy who's like, turn your key, sir.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. But him in Reservoir Dogs, absolute revelation.
Oh, for sure.
And, you know, of course, the masterpiece scene of
Stuck in the Middle with You.
Yes.
Yeah. But Kill Bill, of course, he was Bud in that as well. He was terrific. Obviously a favorite of Tarantino's. Passed away at the age of 63. They say it's a heart attack. Natural causes. Now, I know he had lots of battles with substances over his life, but they say the past year he had been sober. And according to this, natural causes, according to law enforcement.
It's a bummer, man. He was great in Donnie Brasco, too.
Very
he
much
played
so.
like a mobster who was like bitching about kind of being behind.
Yep.
But he was
Hateful Eight. He was good in Hateful Eight too.
big bucket of win. He will be missed.
That's why I'm not going to get sober.
Yeah. Keep on
The end of the
drinking.
ride. You know what I mean? Your body goes, what the fuck? I don't want to live anymore. And so
Truly.
forget that.
With that in mind, bartender, another drink for Ralph, please.
Oh, I got one. I almost ordered one. I actually have one here. Let's give it up for Michael Madsen, by the way, and everybody who passed away this week. Our Tinseltown Stiffs. Now we take a look at some acting, and we've realized that not all acting is great. But sometimes acting can be so bad it goes all the way around to become exquisite acting.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Welcome to the world of exquisite acting with Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith.
Alex writes in. This is Alex from the Batman the Animated Series podcast. All right. Sending in some exquisite acting from the legendary performance of Terrence Stamp in Superman 2.
Oh.
He does some work in that film. Yeah.
He takes it places.
He swings. He swings for the fence.
He soars.
This scene, it was all going so well, says Alex, until Stamp decided to dial up at the very end after his last line. Why does he keep saying his name over and over again? Is that how they say goodbye on Krypton? Here's where he's talking about a little exquisite acting from Terrence Stamp.
Who is this Superman? You'll find out, General. And when you do, come to me, Superman. If you dare, I defy you. Come and kneel before Zod. Zod!
What's he need the extra Zod for?
Zod!
We know who you are.
Yeah, in case you forgot his name.
Right.
That's branding right there.
And that leads us from the very same movie into this week's mistake, shit that should not be.
And now for shit we should not see. Here's some shit that should not be.
Lucas Elsterman from Berlin, Germany, wrote it. No.
Don't hit me with your Dr. Doom, Kate.
He writes in, huge fan from Berlin, Germany. During a recent watch of Superman 2, I noticed something that only now qualifies as shit that should not be. In this scene that takes place in Perry White's office. Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Sometimes time can create shit that should not be, apparently. Can we take a look at this clip?
Kneel before Zod.
It's Perry's office. Can we see what's on the right side of the screen in the office? Can we see that? Can we punch in a little bit? Yeah. Can we make that out? For some reason, there's a big portrait of Bill Cosby on the wall in Perry White's office.
Shit.
Yeah. Makes it an uncomfortable watch now when you're watching Superman 2.
With no explanation.
No explanation whatsoever. Just Perry White's office, giant picture of Bill Cosby.
Our founder.
Perry and I are going to make some cocktails for Lois. Too soon?
No.
It's okay now.
I just hadn't heard it in a minute.
Because Jimmy Olsen with the zipper. Time now to take a look at all the
And Bill Cosby is Mr. Terrific.
Oh,
That could have been the 70s version right there.
I gotta get some AI and
What
put
would
it to the
that sound
70s
like?
version.
How would Bill Cosby, Mr. Terrific?
We have to go in the zoom with the things with the spheres and they're not circles because circles are flat, you see. That's what it would be like, probably.
Perfection.
Let's take a look at the entertainment news in a segment we call the HBO headlines.
Give me head, give me head, give me headlines, and give me head.
This was the week, the big week. It all happened. HBO Max came back from when it was Max, after it was HBO Max, became Max, and now this week, finally, all things are right in the world. It's HBO Max.
Fucking A.
Now.
All I know is it's not Netflix. That's what I call it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was a dumb move to drop the most well-known aspect of the name,
So
especially with
stupid.
brand recognition, quality. Max, when it became Max, it was like, oh, like Skinamax and shit. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's what
sounded
made me
cheap.
think of.
So HBO Max, putting it back in there makes a lot more sense. Give it up for David Zaslav. He seems to be having a good time over there.
Send him a
Warner
check
Brothers.
or two. What do you say?
Yeah, good lord.
Speaking of HBO Max, the Big Bang Theory spin-off called Stuart Fails to Save the Universe has just found its home there. We're going to get that. It's going to happen there.
Who is Stuart?
That's a character from the Big Bang Theory, played by Kevin Sussman.
And he's going to get his own show.
Reprising his role now as the spin-off of a comic book store owner who helps save the universe.
But he wasn't one of the main kids, right?
He was a supporting character on the original series.
Could you imagine, man, like you were supporting and you probably pulling in some decent money because that show went for like a decade and
Yes,
shit.
it did.
And then it's all over and you're like, fuck, man, I wish
Now
young
what?
Sheldon wanted to keep doing this shit. Oh, well, fuck it. And then out of the blue, they're like, guess what? We're doing a show and it's based around your fucking ass. Like you are
And
going to
we're
become
recasting.
Sheldon. Yeah.
No, that'd be cool.
No, that'd be fucking heartbreaking. What a dream, man. That'd be like somebody coming to me and be like, we're making a fucking $100 million Silent Bob only movie. And it's called End Silent Bob. I'd be like, oh, I never saw this shit coming. Good for him.
More reboots, remakes, etc., etc. Scrubs is coming back to ABC. They're bringing Scrubs back.
It was
Scrubs,
only
the
a matter
reboot.
of time after Ted Lasso did well, because that's the same guy, right?
Yes.
Bill
Lawrence.
Bill Lawrence.
Yeah. And I love him, and I think he's a talented guy, and surely I love Shrinking that you're doing over there on Apple.
Yeah, you like the
I
Harrison
love that
Ford
show. Yeah. And Ted Lasso. But we've seen Scrubs. They did that show. It was very good, and they did it, and now it's done, and there's no more of those because they should be done.
As the opinion of a guy, take it from a guy who made 3 Clerkses, I can't weigh in.
Yeah, I suppose not. Yeah. This time, everybody's coming back. Zach Braff, Donald Faison, and Sarah Chalk are all
Once
coming back.
again, like those cats must be like, oh, fucking cha-ching. Like we did this all once before.
We get to do it
and then
all over
ended,
again.
Now we get to do it again. Good for them.
I'm pissed off because Duster got canceled. That's all. That's what it is.
Did you enjoy Duster?
I love Duster.
And it's not coming back.
I loved it.
You know who you'd have to thank? David Zaslav.
I know. HBO Max.
What
pissed
was
me
Duster
off.
about?
So cool, Kevin.
Sell me. Sell me on a show that's not going to continue.
It's the early 1970s.
I'm out.
Oh, come on.
I was there. I lived it.
You weren't there.
I don't need no fucking TV
You
show.
weren't
to
driving a
pretend.
cool Dodge Duster for the mob in Phoenix.
My mom was.
No,
kind
she
of.
wasn't. She was driving a station wagon.
The mob was
Country
the senior
Squire.
citizens, man. She drove my grandmother and all her old
So
friends
good.
around.
Your buddy, J.J. Abrams, did that.
Yeah.
So good.
And they canceled it.
Canceled it. I'm so pissed off. But Night at the Museum is coming back. We're getting another Night at the Museum movie.
With Ben Stiller?
No, it's reimagining, Kevin. It's reimagined. It's all new. It's all new.
That concept is strong enough to exist without Ben Stiller?
No, that's my point.
Somebody sure thinks it is.
I want Duster back. Larry David's coming back to HBO, this time with a sketch comedy series based on American history. I don't know anything anymore about how anything happens or why it gets made. I really don't.
It's history but humorous?
It's going to be a weekly comedy sketch series where every week they'll take on a different moment in American history and do comedy sketches about it. Barack Obama is the co-producer. This sounds like Mad Libs. Give me the name of a president. Give me a bad idea for a TV show. And then this is what you get.
From the former president of the United States. Comedy.
I got a job for you.
Please.
Guy Ritchie has dropped out of Roadhouse 2 as the director.
Yes!
Kevin Smith's Roadhouse 2.
Oh my God. People would sit around and talk about fighting. Nobody would throw a punch. What?
Thank you. They keep getting bigger. Look at this. It's like the baby drink.
You're very sweet.
And then the mama drink. And then daddy's home.
Yeah, it's like Russian nesting dolls of alcoholism.
You can take, hold on, don't waste this. You can put that in there. You can take these for me. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry,
my favorite
friend almost,
person. Yeah.
My friend almost wrestled you to the ground for the last swaller of his drink. Don't you touch that.
You don't want to waste it.
Guy Ritchie didn't do Roadhouse. That was Doug Liman.
Doug Liman did.
And so Guy Ritchie was going to do the sequel, but now he's out.
So they're looking for a new director. That's what
They
I'm
would
saying.
never call me, dude. Nobody calls me for shit like that.
Why don't you call? Why don't you call them and say, I'm your man?
Yeah, be like, what you want to do is a movie. How much is your budget? Like $75 million. I was like, I could do it for $2.
Sounds like a sale to me.
They're like, what do you mean you could do it for $2? I was like, in my version, they sit around the bar and talk about kicking ass. See, it's conversation. It's the art of conversation, man. And conversation is like a campfire. Do you want to carry wood or do you want to carry water? And they're like, get the fuck out. That's what
Dalton and Kevin Smith's Roadhouse 2. He's gonna hurt your feelings with words.
Is Gyllenhaal coming back?
He is. He's coming back.
Could you imagine he gets all shredded for my version? And I'm like, no, you're just going to sit there and talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Kind of like my dinner with Andre.
You're going to work things out. Now the bad news. I wanted to say this for last because I want to bum people out. Justin Bieber released a new album today. I don't know if you saw this. I know we've been laying off Justin Bieber.
I was going to say, you got to get off this kid's dick. I saw him on social media, and he looks sad.
Yeah.
Like, real sad. And I know he's got a lot of money, but I guess that proves once and for all that money doesn't buy happiness because this kid looks fucking sad.
And that's tragic, and I don't want him to be sad, but he can't inflict his pain on all of us now by releasing more music. It's not right. If you're sad, be sad on your own. Why you want to make us sad?
Because he's got to spread it around, man.
He sure is. This whole album is about all this sadness, by the way.
Are there any bangers?
First of all, it's called Swag, is the name of the album.
All right, so that doesn't...
Fuck You from Jump Street.
That would not belie introspective, soul-searching, angry music.
Oh, really? How about his song about his troubled relationship with his wife called Walking Away? Here are some of the lyrics. Girl, we better stop before we say some shit. We've been testing our patience. I think we better off if we take a break.
I said that exact same thing to my wife earlier today.
Did you really?
We better back off before we say some shit.
He's still Canadian and white, right? I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, no Canadian speaks like that.
Yeah.
He got Americanized, man. He got infected by America.
He recorded the whole thing in Norway.
I was like, he got Americanized. He's like, no, I went to Norway.
Because it allowed him, in his words, to vibe out.
I love Norwegian porn.
Also on the album is a recording of his viral showdown with paparazzi last month in which he yelled at a photographer, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, you're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. I'm standing on business.
I saw that clip.
Yeah.
Saw it happen.
So he worked it into a song.
When I saw that video, oddly enough, none of the thoughts I had were like, boy, I hope this gets worked into a song.
It's time to go back to the jingle, is what I'm saying. It's time to go back to the jingle. Can we have a little of that jingle, please?
This poor kid.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Feels good, doesn't it?
Nobody fucking needs ya. You wanna know why? I'll tell you why. 'Cause you're a little cunt.
Yeah, I think we all needed that.
Felt all right.
Very cleansing.
Felt very cleansing.
Yes. I don't wish him ill, but you got to keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Go get some therapy, get it worked out, but don't start releasing music again.
Look, Ralph, you know a lot about a lot of things. One thing you don't understand.
What's that?
Swag.
That's true. I'm lost when it comes to swag. The one thing I do know about is the size of Liam Neeson's cock. I'll tell you that.
Oh, shit,
much.
man.
Yeah.
Is the time already?
It is time already. At the end of each show, of course, we take a look at all of your suggestions, facts about Liam Neeson and the size of his enormous penis in a segment we lovingly call Liam Neeson's cock.
Oh, we can't help but wonder how big is Liam Neeson's cock?
Wie groß ist Liam Neeson sein Penis?
You can send in your own facts about Liam's cock when you discover them. You can send them to hbopodcast@aol.com. Yes.
He's about to re-enter the news cycle, man. He's
yeah,
a
he
naked
is.
gun.
And I was dubious about that film. I must say I was dubious. And then I watched a couple of the trailers, and I laughed out loud at a couple moments there.
Hey, they know what they're doing, man.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Here are this week's facts about Liam Neeson's cock. Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it? The Department of Justice has declared it doesn't exist and has closed the case.
Timely.
Timely.
Yeah. And we're all going to jail.
Yeah, we are. Yes. Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it? Richard Dreyfuss made a mashed potato statue of it in Close Encounters. From timely to very, very old.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it? It bellowed white smoke when the new pope was chosen. I would have to go to the doctor if my penis started emitting white smoke, I think. I'd be scared. Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it? It can open the door to the Fortress of Solitude. And that's canon. Can we take a look at the picture I pulled from the comic books? There it is.
He's holding it.
Yeah.
2 hands.
I know, it's crazy.
How big it is.
And lastly, Liam Neeson's cock is so big. How big is it? Liam changed his name to Cock Max, then just to Max, and then back to Cock Max a few years later. So there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you had a good time this evening.
Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you to Yamava for having us tonight.
Can't thank you enough for being here with us, but there is no show without the guy sitting to my left. Give it up for Ralph fucking Garman, kids.
Let's hear it for my Babble brother and bestest buddy, Mr. Kevin Smith.
And that is Hollywood Babble-On for this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Babble the fuck off. Good night, Yamava! This is the cat. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the AKA Ask Kev Anything. Every saga has a 10-year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what happens when Jay and Silent Bob get old. I'm Kevin Smith. Kiss him, you!